Welcome to yet another demonstration of StraytWay. Yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate it in Cessna Citation CG4 and connected StraytWay. It's just on my phone, and I connected it to Microsoft Flight Simulator, so my phone thinks it's in the airplane. And today we are at. Just click on that button here. Do you guys have a visual on me? Yeah, okay. So click on that button and zoom in, and yeah, we're at Ben Gurion Airport, and we are ready to take off on this runway, which is runway 12. And we're gonna fly to Egypt. Actually, we're gonna do some sightseeing over the pyramids before we land at Cairo International Airport. So we're gonna land here, and this will be our runway, landing from the south to the north. So what we're gonna do is just put a marker at the inactive threshold, add it to the waypoint, to the route, so now it's a waypoint, our first waypoint, and then go all the way to the other end of the runway, so the other threshold, which is the active threshold. This is one we're gonna actually fly over when we land, and like so. So it's important you do it in that order. Number 2 is the active, number 1 is the inactive, and now we have our route. And then of course our sightseeing. Now we're gonna get more from the change maps, and then we can get the elevation. Now we have the elevation map, and it says 130 meters. That's important, so we're gonna enter that in the VFR calculator. Click on the airplane, 130 meters. Pattern altitude of 1500, that's okay. So we've got 1900 and 25 and 26 pattern altitude. We'll round it down, always round down to 1900. And why don't we, no, we'll do that later on. So, the pyramids, where are the pyramids? We're back in Tel Aviv to our current position. Change maps back to the, because first the general map, you have man-made features are much more prominent on that map. Go to the Egyptian airport in Cairo, click on the little flag here, just like so, because then we go to where our target is, which is at the threshold. So we're back in Cairo, and the pyramids must be here they are. Zoom in. Here are the big ones. This is the biggest. Now, amazing if you zoom in on StraytWay. Look at the sides. They are perfectly built north to south. Perfectly. 4,000 years ago. Look at that. Look at that. There's a lot of buildings. And roads, for instance, if you go to roads in the United States, which are supposedly running from north to south, they're not that accurate. It's amazing. Okay. Put a marker there. Like so. And now we've got everything marked. So we've got 3 markers, 2 for the runway and 1 for the pyramids, and that's all we need in StraytWay. We're already set for it's 212 nautical miles, so can go up to 30,000 feet, no problem. It's worth a while. So we'll set 30,000 feet here. And that's all. The sun's coming up. Gotta check my flaps. So the yellow arrow, well, it's not really working yet because it now uses the, so if I move the phone, you see the compass moving. It uses the compass of the phone, but as soon as we start moving, it'll switch to GPS data. You'll see that right away because we're gonna take off flaps 15. Speed brakes retracted. And that's all we need to do. We've got fuel enough, brakes release, full power. Yeah, brakes release. There we go, rotate at 110. Rotate. Climb, gear up. Flaps up. And climb speed, climb power. There you are. Gonna activate the heading. And the flight change. We can already see ourselves from the... hold on. That's climbing away. A little bit away from the coast. Now we're going pretty steep. Gonna change to increase our speed, or increase our speed, so our climb angle will reduce. There we are. 230. There's a good climb speed. Now the autopilot is activated. For the rest we're okay. Now, so we're gonna fly to Cairo and just watch the bug. The yellow arrow, we're gonna set the bug. That makes approximately the same angle with north of the compass, the top of the compass, as on StraytWay, so I'm gonna do it like this. And we'll do the fine-tuning later on. So we're on our way to Cairo. Just checking. Number 2. So we'll be landing at 4-3. Yeah, this way, the other way around. Direction 49, so runway 05. That probably is. Runway 05. Let's see what it says. Yeah, 05 center. But we could deduct it from a straightway. It's 49 true north. We'll be there in 44 minutes. Well, I thought it was closer. Anyway. We're climbing over, what is that city? Or that harbor? That must be this. Yeah, if you can read Hebrew. So the OpenStreetMap uses, or StraytWay uses OpenStreetMap, and in OpenStreetMap all the names are in the local language, and apparently Israel English, they don't bother about the English. It's just in this funny. For instance, if you go to India, they really respect English, so everything is in English. That's because it's a real language, national language, I think. But in Israel, it's not. It's suppose that's Hebrew. Yeah, no English over here. Same in Egypt, but that's more to be expected from an Arab country. Like in Saudi Arabia, it's all in Arab. The writing, that is. Okay, so here we are, climbing out to 30,000 feet. And we're flying over the Mediterranean stretch. I think that's Gaza. This must be Gaza. Perhaps they should update the map. It looks pretty unharmed, undestructed. So Microsoft Flight Simulator, please update your map. And that's the border with Israel, with Egypt. Oh, no, this is where Gaza starts. Okay, this is where Gaza. This wasn't Gaza. This is where Gaza starts. That's Gaza. So we're at 30,000 feet, or 25,000 feet. Look at the left corner. And you can see the whole of Gaza. And you can see where it's closed off from the rest of the world, from Israel. You actually see the border running. This is a satellite picture, but you still can see the border running. And this here, this used to be Gaza. Let's keep our mind focused on something beautiful. On the pyramids, where human civilization really started. And sometimes it looks like we're going backward. Untold horrors laid out here from 28,000 feet. It's absent, it's distant.
Altitude.
It's reducing to cruise power. The Cessna Citation doesn't have auto throttle. And tell because if you here it's in Arab. See, this is Hebrew, and that's Arab. And just across the border here, that's a military zone in Egypt. So there's a huge, probably to prevent Palestinians going into Egypt. So it's a complete militarized zone. And that's this here. See the that corner with the like so. With the, you can see it. You can physically see the border as well. So that's all Egypt, and the pyramids must be somewhere over there. Now, if we go back to our navigation screen, we're tracking, wow, just 1 degree off to the pyramids. These coordinates, or these navigational figures, are true north. So we should give the citation a buck to the right, like so. Then the 238 should become 239. Then we are really dead on target for the threshold, not the pyramids. This points, the arrow points to waypoint number 2, which is the active threshold. Remember that. So when we arrive, we'll need to switch our targets to the pyramids. Why don't we do that? Set our target there. So go to the destination airport, and remember we put our target here already. Now just select it, that marker, and then put the flag right top corner. And now our target line is no longer to the threshold, but to the pyramids. But you can switch it easily by pressing these +0 means to the discretionary target, and then 1 is the first waypoint and 2 is the second waypoint. So the pyramids, you see it's about the same because they're very close, and we are 170 nautical miles away. But if you're, that's important, if you're not on the last waypoint of your route, which is when you use it for VFR, for approaching your runway, the last waypoint should be your active threshold. When it's not on StraytWay is not on the last waypoint, like now it's on the target, it's 0, then all the information with regard to descent information has disappeared. So you have to go back to number 2 first, 2, and now you see that the little airplane has reappeared, but you need to open it and then close it, and then the top of descent distance will appear again, which is the 41. That's the top of descent. So in 40 nautical miles we need to start descending. We can continue because it'll give a descent rate as soon as we are the calculated descent rate is higher than 2.5 degrees. But you can continue till it's like 3 degrees. That's especially convenient if you're in mountainous terrain, your destination is a mountainous terrain, then you have a steeper descent angle, which tends to clear you more of any mountains. But mountains will be, that's the only thing we could use of the Cessna, that's the GPS terrain, but I think Cairo is as flat as a pool table, except for those pyramids. So. And there's some land ahead. Let's see what that is. That must be this. Yeah, you see these little islands stretching, but my Arab is not fluent. so I can't read the names. There's a little option in StraytWay if you go to, and then you see map overlay and choose English. And then some of the names, there you are translated in the major names. And if you go to Israel, yeah, there you go. Ha! Should have done that earlier. And then suddenly, yeah, but that's only the big names. So if you zoom in, yeah, gets to Hebrew again. You see? So, but that's nice. It's an overlay, and then suddenly you've got all these names. Perhaps we're gonna leave it there. Yeah, because that's Port Said here. That's Port Said, and Port Said is it's where the Suez Canal. Here it is, the Suez Canal. So we should be able to spot the. Gonna switch to the other one. The detail is much better. No, it's further away. It's not. That's not Port Said. Port Said is over here. Tell you what. Why don't we put our target on the Suez Canal? Make sure we don't. So we're gonna cross it here and put our target there, and we'll change it back to the pyramids. And now you can see when we are gonna cross the. First, make sure we don't miss our top of descent. That really looks like sun's coming up over the desert. The Sinai, I guess. And that's us. Like cinematic shots. $30,000 feet. Altimeter set, and 7 nautical miles till top of descent. To 1.5. Now we're gonna put our what's it again, our apparent altitude 1900, so we're gonna put in 1900 as our apparent altitude, and there you go, our top of descent has appeared 1900. Doesn't really matter if it's 1900 now. 2.6. 1900 finally, and 2.6. Gonna wait till 3. We'll stay up as long as possible. You see, so it's at your discretion to use that to start your descent or not. Of course, we are supposing there is no ATC, we're flying 30,000 feet, which is normally not allowed for a VFR. But anyway, this the point of these videos is to demonstrate the capabilities of StraytWay, not to teach how ATC works or how to respect airspaces and stuff, not even how to fly a plane. So I suppose if you're going to use StraytWay in a plane, then you know how to fly, you know all this stuff, hopefully. But I'm taking a StraytWay to its extreme, like descending from 30,000 feet to pyramids. And we're 2.8, so that increases, and when it's 3, we'll activate the vertical speed function. And initiate our descent. That's not water, that's desert. .9, almost there. And 3. So we're gonna put in a descent rate, which is 2200, because that's what StraytWay says. Well, you round it down to 2. There it is. And we're descending, and there's no auto throttle in StraytWay in the Cessna, so watch out for the overspeed thing. Yeah, switch back to our target. It's still 89 nautical miles for the Suez Canal. Wow. So that must be port side, and this, I think this, you see this feature? That must be the Suez Canal. Yeah. It goes all the way to, there it is. Yeah, that's the Suez Canal. And that's where it flows into the Mediterranean. Port side. Looks close, but still 83 nautical miles. Amazing. Yeah, the views in these dry desert air are endless, of course. But it goes to show how huge those dunes are. Look how big they are from 30,000 feet. Well, not anymore. We're now at already at 26,000, and yeah. So because I switched to the target, sorry, that was not 80. It's 23 nautical miles still. The Suez Canal. I was to waypoint 1. Almost there. Gonna switch back to keep an eye on our descent rates. So ups, and now it's 1800. So 1800, we have 2200s. We're descending too fast. That's better. No more need to switch to gonna set it back though to the pyramids. So set our target back to pyramid, and then yeah, each time you switch your descent rate, and that's for safety. That's because you will always sure you calculate. You know what waypoint you're calculating the last one, the descent rate to, and the glide slope to. So we'll keep it on waypoint number 2, so the thresholds, and once we're at parent altitude, so the 1900, we'll switch to the pyramids. The Suez Canal, all the way from here to somewhere along this way, that Evergreen was stuck. That ship that blocked everything, remember? And that's the Red Sea. So it uses a part, the natural water, and then the rest was dug out, originally by the French. Suez. La Compagnie de Suez was named after Suez, of course, but and that gave rise to Banque Générale, France. Or was it the other way around? I don't know. But also the scene of a lot of military conflict. The Suez Crisis, and then the Six-Day War. I think the Israelis were stopped here at Suez. That's where they stopped, and they came through the Sinai. Was that the Six-Day War? 60. Oh, no, historian. Airport there. Yeah, I'm gonna check on our descent rate. 1900, so it's too fast. Keep an eye on it. Keep it so round it down. I mean, or round it up from 1500, round it up to 1600. Of course, it's down because it's a negative. It's a descent rate. So go descend a bit faster than what. StraytWay says. That's a safer side to err. We're a bit off. The threshold is 235 and we're tracking 239, so that's 4 degrees to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just in the bug, tap 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees to the left. The real plane, this probably clicks when you turn the knob. When you turn this knob, a click per degree. I don't know. Otherwise, just look at the relative change in the heading. Still 1 degree off, so 1 to the left. Now they're there. 1400 feet. Changing it to 1500 in the Cessna. And within 9 minutes we're at the airport, and then we'll do a little tour over the pyramids and land at the airport, which in real life would of course not be allowed. I don't think so. With a private jet doing a detour over the pyramids. it would get pretty crowded pretty fast, I think, and pretty dangerous too. Yeah, I forgot to shut down the landing lights. Can't do that now. This is not a flight instruction video. Focuses a bit on StraytWay. So it's not even a Microsoft Flight Simulator instruction video. Now the level of see, it's kind of stabilized. No more corrections needed. Not many corrections needed. And, that's a military area. Everything that's red is military in StraytWay. So you can see the whole world, and everything that you see on your phone is automatically stored on your phone. So you can use it miles away from Wi-Fi once the map is on your phone. Center, zoom in, and we're almost there. 1500 descent rate, then StraytWay says 14, 44. So it's perfect. The barometer in Cairo is the same as in Tel Aviv, 1013. So we don't need to change that, and also we never needed to change the standard barometers to the standard barometer. That's to simplify things. Wow. That's what's that? That's this thing. Now what is that? Change the English maps. The 10th of Ramadan. Ah, that's New Cairo. Gonna see that. Perfect. Huge city, Cairo. This island is fascinates me. You got all this, you got a gulf there, and a lot of hospitals. I think a lot of wealthy Egyptians live on this island. Looks like a enclosed, a gated community, kind of. Look at those supermarkets. Shops and stuff. Wow. Must visit next time. 1400 descent rate. Gonna reduce it to 1400. Our descent rate. And yeah. The 10th of Ramadan, this development is called. And then the new capital, New Cairo, the new administrative center, should be somewhere over there. Dark speed is too high. Almost overspeed. That's because of the talking and well, not paying too much attention. There's no auto throttle, so you have to watch it all the time. We're below 10,000 feet, so normally we should have had a call by now from ATC. What the hell are you doing? Reduce the speed to 250 under 10,000 feet. Anyway. Somewhere over there must be the pyramids. 20 nautical miles to the airport. We're almost at better altitude. We're getting close to the belly camera. So somewhere over there must be Cairo, and oh yeah, you can already see the airport. There it is. So StraytWay is right on target again. Airport ahead, and which kind of coincides with our descent because we're almost at our 1900 feet pattern altitude. And tell you what, let's put in, we'll keep descending like this, and we'll go directly to our pyramids, which is about the same direction, but we need to, if you pass right over them. So 5 degrees to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slight turn away from the
altitude
airport, and we're reaching our, this is what we are apparent altitude, will also be the altitude at which we're gonna circle the pyramids, and so we won't have to change our altitude when we land our approach altitude. Right, leveling off, and I'm gonna put it at 55% power and 1, and that's a nice speed. Now we can trundle our way to the pyramids, and in 6 minutes we'll be there. I must not forget to take screenshots, otherwise I'll have to do the flight all over again. We are dead on target for the Giza, the biggest, the big boy, the Aeronautical pyramid, which is, I think that's Giza. Let's have a look, go to the target. There we are. The name is in Arab, but I think it's Giza. No, Cheops. Isn't it Cheops? And this is the new museum that I know for a fact. So the very spectacular opening. Remember on TV? That's this here. I don't know if that's already rendered in Flight Simulator. .4 minutes. Oh, the airport. flying over the airport, so we're gonna land on this runway, the center. Well, coming from. That's our active threshold. Huge airport. I suppose you need that with the millions of people, tourists flooding it each year. Must be one of the biggest tourist countries in the world in absolute numbers. Wow, that's a nice thing there. Looks like a football stadium. Let's see. Here it is. That's the football stadium. But again, it's that's military. They have their own. Now we're crossing over a military airport, and I don't know if you see what I see. Wow, that's Cairo, downtown Cairo or suburbs. Look at that. What's that? Our pyramids. So we're flying not straight towards it. That must be a wind tracking. So you have to turn 2 degrees to the left. So we're gonna do that. 1, 2. That's why, and then we should point straight towards it. Gonna take some screenshots in case I miss the pyramids. And that's that island, that island I showed you. $237. Seems to be a little glitch. That's nice to do with the connection between StraytWay and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I wrote a little piece of bridge code, which is not available, so you cannot use StraytWay in like we're doing now in the Flight Simulator. Yeah, we're dead on target, so I'm not gonna change the heading because that should be. We have to trust StraytWay. And that's the Nile River. What else is it? Oh, that's an island. Probably. And there's some other pyramids. Wow. So here we are. Gonna turn to the right a bit. It's better for the pictures, because then we have the sun. Giza. There we are. Beautiful. Do you hear that little chime? That's StraytWay telling us sun's rising. We're gonna And this will be my money shot. Yep. There we are. Good. There's another one. That's the thumbnails you see as a cover for the videos. And there are the pyramids, leaving them behind. Now why don't we head over to the, now we are at it. Hold on. So we had these other pyramids. There they are. Let's head over to them. And now we are here. Yeah, the autopilot is doing this, so I just changing the heading back. So till we point straight to these other pyramids, and we'll be able to spot on the map. There we are. So now we're going straight towards them, flying to the south. And let's have a look. That's probably these guys. Yep. They're not as big. They're probably older. Oh yeah, that's the one with the the crooked rip. I feel like following the Nile all the way to Aswan, to the dam, but we're not going to do that. So after this, we're going to turn to the and show you how you use StraytWay to land. Wow. Perhaps in English. No, monuments are not in English. There we are. Nice. Also nice. And they're much more it's a real like geometric shapes in the middle of yeah, this one is the there's some, how do you call it, the hooked ribs. At 200 knots, it's like TGV speed, French high-speed train. And there we are. So that concludes our archaeological sightseeing tour of Cairo. Time to head over to the airport, so I'm gonna change to 2. And now you see, so we're gonna fly downwind. We're 8 nautical miles. Let's head over to the, it's gonna turn to the left. And we're 9 nautical miles from the center line of the runway. That's the magenta figure, the cross-track error if you want. The magenta arrow represents the center line of the runway. So that brings us over the no, sorry, we're not going to do a downwind. We'll fly straight in. Oh, look at that! There they are, and that's huge. So that's a distance of 21 nautical miles. Man, that's a distance of 21 nautical miles. No, sorry. 14 nautical miles. Yeah. 14 nautical miles. Let's get over to the airport. My God, that was close. So we're not gonna do that. That's why I said keep track, because apparently Cairo isn't as flat as a pool table after all. But no worries, because now we're pointing directly to the threshold. It's 17 nautical miles, and if you go to to our calculator, it says the bottom left 4.7 nautical miles we need to descend from pattern altitude to the threshold. So if we're gonna circle our threshold till we hit the center line, that sounds like a good plan. And we'll do that on autopilot as much as possible. So when the yellow number 13.8 turns 4.7, let's make that 6 or 7 to give us some time to establish on the final course. So when that 7 will turn till the yellow arrow makes a 90-degree angle with our movement of direction of movement. Pattern altitude, that's normal. Don't bother about the color. I need to fix that color. It looks like alarming, but it just says we're at maximum at pattern altitude. Can be lower as well, but that will disappear as we get closer to the airport. Then it'll turn into a glide slope. We've cleared those mountains. It's more friendly terrain, airplane friendly terrain. 7, 6. Why don't we initiate our turn? So just change the bug to the left, and we're gonna turn till. Gonna put out the flaps. Gonna turn till the yellow arrow points like so I'm adding but to keep ahead of the otherwise it stabilizes, and then we'll just keep tracking it till the yellow arrow coincides with the magenta, and that means it's time to turn to the there we are. It starts moving, and then we'll turn regardless. That means it should be and you'll see if we come out. We should see the airport, and there it is.
Autopilot.
Round out. That must be the one on the left. Yep. So what we're gonna do now is just fly the Cessna, gear out. So we're at 3 degrees, which is perfect. Full flaps, some extra speed, and if we can keep it on 3 degrees like this. So StraytWay says 900 feet would be ideal, and we are going at 1,000, which is approximately good. Let's stabilize the plane. Stabilized. Descent stabilized. 3.4, we're a bit high, but as long as we're in the green, it's fine. So it turns blue when then we should correct a little bit, but we're fine. And our descent rate is also fine. Does it fly? It's not big, not really a challenge. Unless you, of course, you have a sandstorm. So remember, it's the 2 dots we manually put in when we were on the ground in Israel on the map, and that's guiding us now. Watch, we're straight on the mark. CI is straight on. 2.7, we're a bit too low, getting a low, so I'm giving it a few notches up. There you are. And now we're fine. And cut. You can almost land in traverse. Flaps up, don't bother about the speed brakes, and now we can make this one. Welcome to Cairo Aeronautical, and gonna see if we can exit to the left somewhere, and then I'm gonna demonstrate taxiing with StraytWay. It's a big airport, so here we go. Already off the runway? There's no. Suppose we are. Yeah. Okay, just let's stop and go to the map, the real map, like so, and zoom in on our current position and do away with all the markers, and therefore the route. We won't be needing that anymore. Here we go. Are we? Here we are. So suppose you're given this here as your parking place. Just put your marker there. Then gonna see what we need to do. We need to turn off here. Head to the route, then turn off Oh yeah, can go all the way this. Well, unless your ATC gives you another route, of course. And then turn off here. There you are. And now you can just keep it on the map and start with number 1. See, that's our little taxiing route. And we need to go straight ahead. There we are. And now to the left. Like so. Not this one, but the next one. And then we're almost there. And those are definitely no runways that we're crossing. And last turn. There we are. And it should be this one. Yeah, I bet it's this one. Some delay between StraytWay and I'm not gonna go all the way. Perhaps it was still the wrong one. Nope. No, I should have gone a bit further. Now we're yeah, we're across the way. Okay, well, anyway, you got the idea. Hope this was helpful. You enjoyed the sightseeing, the pyramids. And see you next time for another demonstration of StraytWay. Bye-bye.